Have you ever heard of a Ponzi scheme? It's a fraudulent investment operation that promises high returns but ultimately leads to financial ruin. But do you know the mastermind behind it? Today, we're diving into the story of Charles Ponzi, the man whose name became synonymous with one of the biggest financial scams in history. From a poor immigrant to an overnight millionaire, his story is a cautionary tale of greed and deception. In 1919, Charles Ponzi, then living in Boston, discovered a loophole in the global financial system. He realized that international reply coupons (IRCs) could be exploited for massive profits. Ponzi devised a plan: buy IRCs cheaply in one country and redeem them in the US for a much higher value. Sounds like a brilliant business idea, right? With this concept, Ponzi attracted his first investors, promising a 50% return in 45 days or a 100% return in 90 days. People rushed to invest, believing they had found a golden opportunity to get rich quickly. At first, everything seemed perfect. Early investors received their promised returns, and Ponzi's wealth skyrocketed. However, there was one massive flaw. Ponzi wasn't actually generating profits from his supposed system. He was paying old investors with the money from new ones. Imagine making $250,000 a day without doing any real work. That's exactly what Charles Ponzi achieved at the peak of his scheme. Hundreds of people handed over their savings, believing they were making a once-in-a-lifetime investment. But no deception lasts forever. The truth was bound to come out. And for Ponzi, it came in the form of investigative journalism. As the scheme grew, suspicions arose. The Boston Post launched an investigation and uncovered irregularities in Ponzi's business model. They found that Ponzi's operation lacked any real source of profit. On August 12, 1920, Charles Ponzi was arrested and charged with 86 counts of fraud. He was sentenced to 14 years in prison. Upon release, he was deported to Italy, where he lived in poverty for the rest of his life. His fraudulent investment model became known as the Ponzi scheme, a term still used today to describe similar scams that prey on greed and financial naivety. After hearing this story, have you ever encountered an investment that seemed too good to be true? If so, be careful, it might just be a modern-day Ponzi scheme. Since Charles Ponzi's time, the scheme has evolved and reappeared in different forms. Many people in the US and around the world have fallen victim to similar scams. So, how can you spot and avoid them? There are a few red flags to watch for when evaluating an investment opportunity. Promises of unusually high returns with little or no risk. Lack of transparency about how the investment generates profits. A focus on recruiting new investors rather than creating real business value. Difficulty withdrawing funds, with pressure to reinvest instead. Use of celebrity endorsements or public figures to lure investors. In the end, if an investment sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Always research thoroughly, verify legitimacy, and never invest money you can't afford to lose. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating stories. See you in the next video.